Welcome to episode number 15 of Listen in 3D. I'm your boy Justin, aka Too Tall for You Fool.
And I'm Netta, aka Wondrous Net.
And together we are Team 3D, the host of Listen in 3D, where we discuss, dissect, and debate the music and the albums in the world of hip hop, music, and other genres. If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to like this video, subscribe, share it around, leave us a comment, all that good stuff. If you want to help us out one step further, if you do subscribe, please ring that notification bell. That way you get access to when our videos go live. So, with all that being said, um, thank you for watching, listening. If you're listening to us on Spotify, we thank you for doing so, or any other audio platform where you can listen to podcasts. And oh, we have a playlist. It's on Spotify. Link is on our YouTube page and will be in this video. And another thing, if you want to email the show, please email us listenin3d at gmail.com. All right, so with all that out of the way, Netta, how you doing?
I am pretty good. We're going into Christmas right now, so I have been getting a little bit of Christmas shopping out the way, breaking the bank. How about you?
Yeah, same. Still doing a little bit more Christmas shopping, and just recently got into vinyl collecting. So, yeah, so just got some records. We're getting a record player for Christmas. So, out of curiosity, do you collect like any physical media or anything like that?
I do not. I'm a digital girl in a digital world.
Digital girl in a digital world. Right on, right on. If you want to know a secret, folks, this is our second take. I hit the record button. I thought I hit the record button. Now we're just trying to talk shit like we were doing it earlier.
We're doing it better this time around.
I think we're doing it a little quicker, but it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I kind of rushed through that intro there, so I apologize, folks. But hey, doing it on second take. Hey, a little secret on my other podcast. I don't think this was as bad. Try going 30 minutes into a show and then having to do the whole thing again. I forget what episode it was of the Game Watch podcast, my other podcast, but let's just say I was not happy. But this one, I actually caught myself since I'm, the main producer. So it's like when I went down on my OBS, I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't get further because I'm like, oh, we're not recording right now. So just talking.
Well, we're 15 episodes in, and this has never happened before. So you're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, well, it just proves that we're not perfect, but definitely horror podcasting stories. I could tell you a bunch. All right. So with that being said, we do have a Bay Area classic for you guys today. Netta, you want to tell the audience what we're going to be discussing today?
Sure.
Again.
Today we'll be discussing "In a Major Way" by E40. It was released on March 14th, 1995. It was certified platinum. It had singles including "Sprinkle Me" and "One Love." There were music videos for both singles and "Dusted and Disgusted." There were guest appearances by Be Legit, Mac Sean, Sugar T, Tupac, Spice One, Mac Mall, Levity, Selly Cell, and Lil E, who's now known as Droopy.
Yes, little E, Droopy is his son. He had him on that album at a very young age at the time. He does a little bit of rapping and producing for his father, so I think that's pretty cool. Um, March 14th, you said, was the date that it came out, this album. Little bit of trivia for you. That's also the day Tupac dropped Me Against the World. Not sure if you remember, but yeah, they dropped their albums the same day. So I thought that was pretty cool. And he goes on to drop another album out, Might Get a Report Card, 11 years after, later on the same day, March 14th. So March 14th seems like to be a pretty popular day for E40, at least in his music career.
He has a lot of longevity.
All All right. So let's get into pre-listening thoughts. So any nostalgia or any memories you have of E40 growing up? Do you remember like listening to him way back when?
The only song I knew and I didn't know at the time, but the "Tell Me When to Go" song, and I only knew that because you told me. I have a memory of that, but I wasn't really that familiar with him prior to this album. I knew he was from like a different era than I'm used to, and a different geographic area.
Yeah,
And I really wasn't expecting much from this album.
you weren't expecting much, but were you like blown away, or were you very impressed, or
I I was pleasantly surprised. I thought it was going to be like a old timey kind of '90s kind of thing, but he was very unique, and I really appreciated his perspective. And there are a few songs I'll be continuing to listen to after.
all right,
So
right
I
on, right
liked
on.
it.
Yeah, yeah. I can't wait to until we get into that discussion. So, a little bit about E40. He is from the Bay Area, Vallejo, California, or V Town as they like to call it up there. He came out, early '90s. He's been around a very long time. With his group, The Click. His brother D Shot, his sister Sugar T, who appears on the album, and his cousin B Legit, who also appears on this album.
Oh,
So
that's his actual biological sister.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sugar T is his sister.
Oh, I heard him refer to her as his sister, but I thought he just meant it in a friendly way. But that's really his sister. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, the group that he came out with, The Click, is it's family orientated. Just his brother, his cousin, and
Oh.
his sister, and well, him. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely got to do a Click album. I think you'd like the Click, especially if you like this album. I really think you would like one of the album recommendations I'll give people at the end of this episode, like I always do. So, but yeah, I mean, for me, E40, I listened to him first, as I can recall, on Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise album. He appeared on one of the songs on that one, and then '96, I know he had a song with Too Short, rapper, yeah, yeah, Rapper's Ball or Players. I think that was the name of it. It was off his third album, and then he also had another single that I listened to. So definitely, E40 has been around a long time, and he's still in the game today. He put out an album late last month that I've only listened to once. So I mean, if you want to do some recent
Mm,
music, I mean, there you go.
that's awesome. How old is he? Like 50 or 60 now?
I want to say he's in his 50s. He's been around a long time because he was in his 30s back in like the '90s. So yeah, he's got to be in his mid 50s. I
Yeah, he
mean,
was talking like a vet in this game on this album, and now he's still making music like 30 years later. That's incredible.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So yeah, he's a great musician. Just very well respected in the hip hop game. And I think of all the rappers, I think no one has more albums than him. I could be wrong. It might be a Guinness Book of World Record kind of thing, but you'd have to check that. I mean, he's made, I think the one he just put out last month, I think is his 33rd studio album. Yeah, he's made a lot of music over the years.
That's insane.
Some I could skip, and then he's also done like a lot of collab albums too over the years with Too Short. Yeah, he has a whole lot. There was one year he put out 3 albums. No, actually 2 years where he put out 3 albums in one day. So he has a big discography. So if you really like this album, and you want to hear more E40, definitely check him out. But I think his early stuff is the best in my opinion. But that's just me. But this album, if it,
Have you seen him out there in concert?
yeah, I've seen him live a few times. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, yeah. He's a great performer. Great, great. He a pleasure to listen to. I think you would like him too if you ever saw him in concert. All right, uh, memories of this album. I mean, I didn't really have it growing up, but I've listened to it over the years, and I feel like it's a good album. Definitely if you want to listen to some of E40's older stuff, this is one I definitely would recommend. This one along with the Mailman EP. That's always a popular one among fans as well. All right. So, what were your thoughts on the artwork?
Um, I thought it was very unique. You got E40 inside of a nice watch with a bling blingy watch. He's cooking crack, and the crack is boiling over. Um, I I would say it goes along with the theme of the album and his personal mantra: heart, money, street, hustle. It's very true to that theme. What did you think of the artwork?
Cooking crack. He actually does have a song that he did years after this one called Crack. So I thought that was kind of like he talks about
Straight
the
up called crack.
yeah, he talks about the mob life, mob music, and just that, and then in the '90s, if you had a cell phone like the one you see on that stove there, I mean, you're either you know with a Zach Morris of the world or you're a drug dealer. So I mean that's along the lines of that. So, but yeah, it's pretty unique. I mean, something you don't see every day. Um, but I thought it was pretty cool for the most part. All right, so let's get into what beat or beats you liked. What was your favorite beat or the best beat you think?
For me, it came down to either the Bumble or Fed, and I chose the Bumble. I really liked all the beats on the album. At the end of most of the songs on the album, they like leave a minute where like only the beat is playing,
Hmm.
and I really like that. Not just because it made it easier for me to choose a beat, but it just it's really unique. I don't know if that was just a '90s thing, but I like that.
Yeah, I get what you're talking about. I know Studio Tone was one of the producers on this album, and I know for one, like some of the other out work he's done with the Click, whether it be Legit or D Shot, he like there are a few songs I can send you like over like a minute, like the beat will just play. It actually sounds really good too. Some of these beats, I'll send you some songs that I like from him. But I get what you're saying. Maybe it was a '90s thing. I don't know, but beats. I mean, maybe I'm biased when I say this, but I think beats back in the '90s or even like in early hip hop were better than what we're getting today. Personally, I don't know what it is. I know sampling is one big issue when it comes down to it, but that's a discussion for another day. Um, my favorite beat, and there were a lot of good ones, like you said. I gotta go with what you did on that 3 6 Mafia episode. I love that intro beat. The intro beat goes hard. Like it's just. I mean, I know it's not one of my favorite songs, but I mean, yeah, that intro beat is just. I wish he did make it into a song because I feel it was just magnificent. Probably one of the best ways to really get into the whole um, yeah, the whole album, and just suits you up for it if that makes sense.
Yeah, I like the intro beat too, and I like how he includes his personal mantra, and
Mm,
he's like understanding my system is to have heart, have money, have street, and have hustle.
mm.
I thought the intro was a good way to acclimate you to the album he was about to give you.
Yeah, definitely, and people were in for a real treat. All right, so now that we talk beats, let's talk singles. Let's start with One Love. What were your thoughts on this one?
I loved One Love. It was like it was both it had a lot of heart, like he says,
Mm,
and it had a lot of street, I guess you could say. I like when he's harmonizing with the singer when he's like the L, while they sing
yeah,
one love, one.
y-
I thought that was really good. He kind of does that throughout the album with the
mm,
harmonizing with the singer thing.
yeah, yeah. He
Um,
actually does harmonize quite a bit through this album. Yeah, I know for me, Yeah, the beginning is a little touching, definitely. Oh, excuse me. With the whole, calling and operators like you have a collect call from a California state prison, and then obviously he accepts the charges and it's like, hey, it's your partner, man. Doesn't even say his name. Like, hey, it's your partner, man. And then definitely, I think a lot of people that he relates to had been through that. You have a loved one in jail for whatever reason. The O, the O, the O, just spelling love, and then, definitely, and then, not to mention that it had, that Bay Area type '90s beat, just relaxed. One thing about the Bay Area, they definitely had their own style back then, so and they still do today. So, I mean, I wouldn't say, I mean, you can consider it West Coast hip hop, but LA and the Bay, I mean, I think people will argue, people will definitely agree that, each of them, each regions have their own style, and, definitely get that Bay Area vibe style with this song. So, I mean, I really liked it. And the music video, I think, was really cool also in terms of, the putting the story into perspective.
Yeah, I liked how he's expressing solidarity with people who are incarcerated. I did some work in the prison for like 3 years,
Hmm.
and a lot of them talked about how it's like the first year everyone's telling you, oh, we're gonna keep calling you, gonna keep visiting, and they do for the first year,
Hmm.
and by the fifth year it's like a couple people, and by the 10th year it's like just your mom, and
Yeah.
so I think it's important for people to hear this kind of thing. And one of the things I really liked that he said at the end, he said, "See, first you're born, then you live, then you die. One
Hmm.
day soon, I'll get another try." And I'm like, damn, that's crazy because it's like
That's deep.
at the point where you're locked up for life, all you're doing is dreaming of another lifetime. I'm like, wow, yeah, that's deep.
Yeah, that's pretty deep. Thoughts on the music video?
Um, I I enjoyed it. Let's see. I liked when the singing guy, Levity, he was like dancing throughout the video.
Yeah.
Um, and I liked when he was looking through I guess that was E40's son. He was looking through a photo album
Yeah, I think it was
with
him.
them.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah, the dancing was a little goofy, and definitely with the style back then, with the
The
flannels.
tough Yeah, the tough flannels, but he was
Yeah,
just dancing everywhere.
yeah, the flannels. I will say one thing the Bay Area and the LA area had in common was the flannel wearing. I think everyone during the whole mid '90s thing was in flannels at one point. I mean, you didn't really see that much on the East Coast or any other region. I could be wrong, but um, but let's see, a little bit of '90s fashion for you. So let's move on to the second single off this album and the most popular one, because he does this at least every time I've seen him. He always does a song, "Sprinkle Me." Um, so "Sprinkle Me" is a duet he did with his sister. That was her actually singing too. So you got to respect, you know, uh, person that can both sing and rap. So she definitely has some skill. And for the most part, it was a nice duet that they did together, and just definitely I like that first part. I'd be more hipper than a hippopotamus. Get off your get off in your head like a neurologist. And then he goes like in a like got a partner by the name of Tupacalypse. Like yeah, he's just definitely out of its time at the time. Like looking back, I think no one was doing like those type of like vocabulary kind of things like with some of the stuff he was saying. Like and when we do more E40 stuff, you'll just be blown away by like wow like um so I mean that was definitely one of my favorite verses from there that he did, and then Sugar T kills it with her verses also, I think, and then that third verse where they both come together, I think I thought that was pretty good. What were your thoughts on the whole video? Or I
Yeah,
mean, hold on, song. Sorry.
yeah, I agree with you. He says a lot, and sometimes he says it really fast. It's like super potent, and he says it really fast sometimes. But I enjoyed the song because the song actually managed to be both smooth and fast paced at the same time. It's a rare combo,
Yeah.
and I like when I didn't know that this was actually his biological sister, but I guess it made a little more sense because I don't know something about the camaraderie that they have. I'm
Hmm.
like, when you said they're actual biological siblings, I'm like, oh, okay, this makes a lot of sense. I like when she endorses his his mantra, heart and hustle and all of that, and
Yeah.
she's like under she says understanding the system, man, like understanding E40 system.
Yeah.
And I I I thought it was a fun song. I don't know if I really fully understand what he's sprinkling, like gems, like ways to live.
Yeah. That part I don't think I'll ever get either. Like sprinkle me, man. But people love the song, and um, yeah. I mean, it's good. And then as for the music video, I mean, gotta love the mid '90s music video special effects with him like disappearing at the end and then grabbing his glasses. I mean, I got to point that out. I mean, hey, you want special effects in your video? There you go.
I liked it too. I really like sci-fi, so when they had the portals, I was like,
Yeah,
okay, I love them going through coming in through the portals, leaving through the portals. I like when he's sprinkling the glitter and making his sister.
appear or
Yeah.
whatever, and then it's just yeah. I mean, people might think that's like that's lame now, but back then that was groundbreaking. Well, I mean,
Huh.
it was. I mean,
Yeah.
One Love didn't have any special effects like that. It was just a regular music video, just with Leviti just dancing, the way he was. I mean, there wasn't no special effects to that. So I mean,
So it was cool. Reaching back in for the glasses is crazy.
yeah, that was. Yeah, I mean, it was not really being done. Yeah, yeah, it wasn't. I mean, yeah, just you didn't really see too much of that in music videos back then. But now it's like if you want to do special effects, you got to do some special effects, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
All right, and then so this album only had two singles. There was a music video for "Dusted and Disgusted," and it's probably one of the other important songs on this album as well. So we should discuss the song. What I'll let you start this one out. What were your thoughts on the song?
Um, I I liked it. It was kind of like a storytelling song, which
Hmm.
I always enjoy. Um, it's like they start off with a guy. He's like trying to go meet up with a woman, and then he
Hmm.
gets killed, and then it ends with them finding out their friend gets killed, and they're trying to set somebody up with a woman to kill him. But I like the harmonizing. Like in One Love, they
Yeah,
on this one they did when he was saying back to fucking work. One of the homies just got dusted, and
yeah,
then the girl is saying cold hard and shit.
yeah,
I liked that. And then the second verse when the guy's like, let's let's let off two or three on the other side of town. I don't know why I really like the stuttering. I was like, I like
yeah.
that. What oh, oh, you go ahead. That's about the video.
That was about the video. Oh yeah, so yeah, video I thought was cool. I guess I'll just start the video first since you brought it up. Yeah, the video I think was cool. Definitely that tells a story, and with that being said, after it tells a story, it goes into the second verse. Instead of it being Tupac who is on this song, Sully Cell, the guy with the ASAP from that's the guy that replaced him. I'm sure you saw that difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I kind of wish they did put that song. Like if he ever does actually reissue it, hopefully they put that version of the song on there as well. But I mean, at least he's in the music video. Song that version of the song, I'm pretty sure it's hard to find too, if unless you've had like the original single or uh, vinyl for it or whatever. But definitely someone getting whacked and then trying to whack someone else. So I thought the video told like a good story, and I think with most music videos, for the most part, that I've seen since doing this podcast, it tells a story. For the most part, like I would say maybe over 70% of them. Some of them are just like laid back, just chilling in the studio, whatever. But I think a music video can bring a song to life, and I do believe that. So as for the song itself, I think E40 kills it as usual. But what did you think of Spice One? I think this is your first time hearing him rap. What were your thoughts on him?
I couldn't. Which was his verse? Was he the one stuttering?
Yeah, he was the one. He was the one that went after E40 on the first verse, and then he went again in the last verse after Mac Mall.
Does he say crushing the flesh? Them bitches play the game of death.
Let's see. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Let's see. I can looking at his lyrics right now. Nigga been holding them guts, but shit. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, he was the first guy that went after E40 in the first verse. But I'd have to. You could probably listen to the song again. You could be like, oh, that's Spice One. Yeah. So I think he kills it with that second verse. He definitely has a nice style. Very popular Bay Area rapper during that time. He still makes music today.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. He's the one who says, "I noticed one killer on the double dribble and set him up." Like he says it like way faster than that and more
Yeah,
more smooth.
yeah,
Yeah, I liked his verse.
yeah. I think he probably had the best guest verse of the whole album, if you ask me, in terms of all the guest artists. I think Tupac's verse was solid as well. In the original song. So
But I think he probably outshined really Tupac. I also like the part where they
yeah,
say they're
I think he
going
did.
back and forth about what they're about to do, and somebody says, "Well," and then the other guy says, "Well," he says, "Well, if," and the guy says, "If was the is if was the fifth, we'd all be drunk." He's like, "Stop playing around. We got to do this." I like that.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting song. I mean, it's a shame that Tupac was incarcerated during that time. I mean, I did like how they had the free Tupac shirts on, so they definitely didn't forget about him. It just showed you how much people were down for Tupac, and yeah, it's a shame they couldn't be in the music video. But hey, they replaced him with Selly Cell, and I think for to make the whole thing work, I think whoever was on that song had to be present. You just couldn't have
Yeah.
you just couldn't have Tupac's versus just playing while they were just doing some other shit. I mean, so it
Yeah.
made sense like at the end of it. So, and I think Selly Cell did a good job. He's a good rapper.
One part of the video that I laughed at is when like E40 is up at the head of the class with a
Mhm.
whiteboard and a pointer,
Oh
and
yeah,
he's
yeah,
teaching them how they're about to go and run this play on these people. I'm like, wow, that is funny. And then I noticed, I don't know who it was, but somebody in that video had that. It's like a hairstyle that like
hmm
it was very popular in the '90s. The guy from Roger from Sister Sister had it, and now it's back. But
Oh, he was
I
in
was
the.
like, wow.
Well, what guy you talking about?
I don't know. I don't know what his name was, but he had the hair like I guess it's
Well, was he the?
fade.
Oh, was he the one in the A's hat? Not him.
He might have had a hat on later in it, but he had like braids coming out at the top and then a fade on the
Oh,
sides.
oh, that's
And I
Spice
was like,
One.
oh, that's him.
That's Spice One. Yeah, he had the braid. Yeah, the
Okay.
dreadlock. Yeah, that's Spice One.
I'm like, oh yeah, people will wear that exact hairstyle today and wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it for Dusted and Disgusted. All right, so now that we're done with the singles and videos portion of our show, let's move on to our top threes, our favorites, you know, and maybe a song we could have did without. Let's see. We'll start with you, Netta. What three are you going with?
One Love, Dusted and Disgusted, and The Bumble.
Oh,
Three.
all right. So
Yeah.
I'm going with. So we have one in common. The Bumble. That was my favorite song on the whole album. I think it's one of his raw songs ever. It actually appears on a greatest hits compilation he would go on to put out years later. The Bumble, yeah, definitely. If you're an E40 fan, you gotta listen to the Bumble. Other two I'm going with is "Spittin' It," which is an interesting song. It wasn't my favorite beat, but I love that dance type beat. And the final song before the outro, "It's All Bad."
I can't believe you didn't like One Love.
It's a good song. I mean, I would say probably top five, but I mean, it wasn't my favorite. I'm just being, if I'm
Yeah,
being
I feel
honest.
you.
I mean, it
I
was
feel
yeah.
you.
My honorable mention was Dusted and Disgusted, and then if I were to, I mean, between the two singles, I liked One Love better, even though Sprinkle Me is the more popular of the two songs. I mean, if that makes you feel any better, I mean, Sprinkle Me. I mean, it's a good song, but I mean, it's like to me, it's just like meh. I mean, at best, I mean, I'm just being honest. But all
Yeah.
right. So, the Bumble. What do you have to say about the Bumble? I mean, we know you love the beat, so like it's just like one big verse.
Yeah, it is. I don't think there was a chorus at all.
Uh,
I liked
hmm,
I liked the voices he was having and the intonations and just going up and down. It was like varied and interesting for me. Um I liked when he said just like the Democratic, I'm for the po. That was funny.
yeah, fuck the Bumble, new click shit, ain't no punk hole. I think that was the chorus because he says that twice. Fuck the Bumble, new click shit, ain't no punk hole. Yeah, and then he
Oh,
says it again at the end. I don't know if you noticed. Fuck the Bumble, you bitches ain't no punk hole.
oh. And the other funny thing I thought he
Yeah.
said when he said pedestrian stumble sound like a gorilla trying to get up out of a trunk. I'm like, that's so specific. But yeah, I enjoyed that one. Why
Yeah.
why did you like it?
Well, the beat was Fly, and of course, so definitely got to go with that. And I just like how, I mean, it just seemed like I don't know if it was something like between something he wrote or if it was just like a freestyle or something. I think it's just like so raw, and it's just like I love raw songs like that you just don't hear every day. I mean, maybe he had a chorus, maybe it didn't. I mean, he says "bumble" twice in the song, so I mean, to this day, I'm still trying to just figure out like what he meant by it. I mean, unfortunately, I think he did do it on his verses that he had with Too Short. So I mean, and that was a pretty good. I was surprised. I think it was one of the first songs he did. I think. Oh, I mean, if I ever do see him in concert again, I would like to see him do the Bumble maybe a little more. But I mean, it is what it is. So, but I mean, definitely some of the stuff he was saying just throughout the whole song. Um, it's pretty good. And then I think one of my where was it there? Oh, looking for it. Shaking baking soda, forms of rock, 36 steps on a triple beam scale, burn the duct tape, but keep all the yeah. So I mean, just like he's talking about this, and then a motherfucker ain't gotta be Flash Gordon, always running up in the back streets in a batch. That's I guess he meant bitch, but sometimes he'd say batch. That's how profound his sound was.
He didn't mind changing up her words. I know on one of the songs he says esophagus instead of esophagus. He just changed up
Yeah.
words at will.
Yeah, if you want to hear some other songs that where he changes the words, just listen to the Mailman. He changes so yeah. Instead of ground, he says ground. Instead of saying ground, he says ground. So it's like in one of the
Did you
songs.
ever used to watch that show Zoom?
Zoom, no.
It was like a kid show. It was like out from the 70s to the 90s. I don't know if it's still out now, but they had a special language that they talked in called like Ooby Dooby or
Oh.
something. And I was like, this he sounds like he's speaking Ooby Dooby. But I liked them changing up the words at will. That
All
was
right.
interesting.
Yeah, so yeah, he was very good at that. And then other song I want to get into, Spitting It. Uh, I just like the upbeatness to this song where talks about is woke up in the AM, toasted up my cranium, gotta take a shit, took a dump in the Mediterranean, flushed the toilet, hit the shower, snatch a yeah. Then after that, just the dance beat just goes on. And then I love the chorus. 40 took 40 to the mic to the fucking dome, and now they got me spitting on the microphone. 40 took 40 to the fucking dome. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of a nice three verse chorus song for the most part. I think in my opinion, I think it was the best one on the album in terms of something he did by himself solo. I mean, he had a lot of features on this album. And
Yeah.
then, I mean, but yes, I did like it better than One Love. But sorry, but
You tripping.
One Love is a good song. One Love is a good song. And then I guess the last song I will highlight is "It's All Bad," and I just love this song with him and his son at the time, and you know the intro where he's like, "Hey, Daddy, what's up?" Just him just talking about like the world. I mean, just explaining, and then getting into that second verse, "Our Father who art in heaven," and then E40 Junior, Little E or Droopy as we call him now. I spit game like a soldier. Talk since I told you this. Just the guy. He was a bit of a floor, maybe not on the Crisscross or Bow Wow or Romeo level, but he could flow. So I mean, yeah, the
He
kid had a,
sounded very I don't know how old he was, but he sounded very young.
yeah, he's one of, I don't think he was any older than 6 or 7 in my opinion, but
Yeah. I liked on that song when
mm,
E40 was saying money ain't changed me, money changed the way people think about me. I think I've heard many rappers express that sentiment that like everybody thinks that they're a whole different person when in reality people are just treating them a lot different because they see them as, somebody different just because of, the money.
mm,
Um, I also like on the second verse when because it was kind of a pessimistic song, but the
yeah,
second verse is a little optimistic when he says, "If you're feeling down and out, read Proverbs."
mm,
Um, I like that.
yeah, I think. Yeah, I also do like how he expresses love to, where he's come from. Magazine, that's the street he, I guess, grew up on. Magazine was nothing like Bel Air. High speed shootouts and shit, but I loved it there, just not forgetting where he's from. So,
That's one thing you can't come away from this album not knowing that he's from this Vallejo, California that I've never heard of.
Vallejo.
Vallejo?
Yeah, Vallejo,
Okay,
that's how you say it.
Vallejo, California.
But yeah,
I won't forget that.
you will not forget that. So, you know what so if he mentions the V Town, you know what he's talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, definitely. If you ever take a trip to the Bay Area, you know where to go. All right. Okay. So, and then, any thoughts on "Spitting It," or was that a ass song for you?
It wasn't ass, but
Hmm.
I didn't really know much about it. I like how he's like 40 took a 40 and now they
Yeah.
got me like oh damn, I just got drunk and now they got me out here trying to rap to y'all. Um, that's funny to me, but it was a pretty good song. I can't say I really hated any song
Yeah,
on
yeah. This was kind of
this
tough.
album.
I mean, if I were to get rid of a song, I mean, it's kind of hard, but I mean, yeah, there were, Bootsy was a good song. Fed was a good song. I mean, maybe HILL, The Hills. I mean, maybe that one. Actually, no. I'd get rid of the chip on the phone. Chip in the phone. I'd get rid of that. Otherwise, it's a super classic. But I mean, it was a good album. I mean, there are a lot of fire songs on here. I don't think there was like one bad song personally.
If one gotta go, I would probably choose Sideways. The other one I would give an honorable mention because I really loved the chorus
Mm.
was Smoke and Drink. I think it's called Smoke and Drink.
The Smoke and Drink was a pretty good song. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Sideways is a
Yeah,
little on the bottom half of the album for me too. So,
yeah.
but
Smoke and Drink is like it's like a very soulful song about not being sober. I really like it's mainly the chorus. I didn't really care for the verses, but I really love the chorus on that song.
yeah, it was that. Yeah, it was a good song. All right, so recommendations. Oh, actually, album because we already discussed this. Dusted and discussed it. The music video version. Where is it? We don't have audio, but with technology, I'm sure you can download a MP3 of it if you record it off YouTube or something. But obviously, there are differences. Silly Cell replaces Tupac in that second verse there. All right, so let's see. So getting the album recommendations. First one we'll recommend is the Clicks, game related. That's the group E40 was in. Um, very good album. Actually came out around this time, sometime in 1995. Not sure when. Tupac's "Me Against the World" obviously was dropped the same day. That'd be another recommendation. Um, and I want to highlight a rapper who was on this album, Selly Cell, Killa Cali. Um, yeah, he put that album out in '96, and he was also on E40's label, Sick With It. So he's also from Vallejo, California. So definitely check that one out. And they're also check out E40's whole discography. You got other guys I want to highlight. Be Legit, Mac Mall, even Sugar T. They had some good songs out during that time as well. So definitely check out that what the Bay Area was up to in the mid '90s. Um, all right. So besides One Love, any songs you're taking back to your playlist?
One Love is the main one. I guess I'll take back Dusted and Disgusted. Um, I enjoyed the album. It's like a '90s aesthetic, but it's like a timeless vibe.
Yeah, for me, It's All Bad is in my rotation. The Bumble, definitely. Spittin'. I mean, yeah, those were my three favorite songs. Definitely, I mean, One Love. I'll give that song another shot. I mean, it's in my top five, but I mean, yeah, I'll definitely put it in my rotation a little more. And Dustin and Disgust is also another one I listen to, quite frankly. And another song, well, two more songs I want to kind of just maybe give other more of a shot as Fed and Smoke and Drink. Sprinkle Me, I'm good. I've heard that so many times. So all right. So, what were your guys' thoughts on E40's In a Major Way? Did we get our favorites right? What do you guys think of the album? What are your favorite tracks? Did we miss anything? Please let us know in the comments. For Wondrous Net, aka Netta, Netta, aka Wondrous Net, I'm Justin, aka Too Tall for You Fool. And thank you for watching or listening to episode 15 of Listen in 3D. We will check you later. Bye now.